Today I'm going to teach you the only way I've been able to determine and figure out how a parent can control without any loopholes what their child sees on YouTube on the child's phone. This is a layered approach, meaning you're going to have to perform a number of steps on two different phones, the parents and the child's, to eliminate bypass. The first thing you got to understand is that the child must be logged into what's called a supervised YouTube account on their phone, on the YouTube app on their phone. Otherwise, you can't, as the parent, enforce the restrictions. Second, parents only have the maximum control of their child's supervised YouTube account if their child is 12 years or younger. If they're 13 to 17, they have more options, and some of your restrictions may be bypassable. And you cannot supervise an account of someone who is 18 years or older. The third thing is you have to block YouTube.com from being accessible on all internet browsers on your child's phone. And I'll go into the details. But let's jump in. Step one, assume you're on the parent's phone right now. The first thing you need to do is go to the App Store and download Google Family Link. Once it's downloaded, open it up and log in using your personal Gmail account, password, and email address. Once that's done, you'll get this screen. Does your child have a Google account? Yes or no? If they don't, then set one up and enter in and follow the prompts. Put their name, birthday, you'll create a Gmail address, you'll create a password and some parental consents. If they already have one, and say yes and enter in that child's already existing Gmail login information. Now, the question is, what are the pros and cons of that? The pro of using an already existing one is that the child gets to keep all of their old playlists, their old email address, the data, the Google Drive, all of that stuff. The con is if you use an already existing Gmail account and try to convert it to a supervised account, incognito might be enabled and restriction mode might be disabled. And we want just the reverse of that. So that is one reason, even if they do have an account, you may want to create a new one from scratch. We know then incognito would be disabled and restricted mode will be enforced. So once you've downloaded Family Link on the parent phone, the next step is to go to the child's phone. And there you're going to have to download two apps, Family Link on the child's phone and YouTube. Under Family Link, just download the app and sign in using the newly created supervised Google account and follow the prompts. With regards to the YouTube app, go to the YouTube app, download it from the App Store, and then open it using signing in as the new supervised account that you just created. Now, there's a couple of things I want you to check. Go down to the profile, picture on the bottom right. Now, this is not a supervised account. This is a different one, just using it for illustration purposes. If you see turn on incognito, this is not the supervised account. That should not be there. That's a red flag. That means you haven't signed into the right account. The other thing you need to check is go up here to the gearbox on the right-hand side, go to General, and check to make sure restricted mode is turned on. Now, this isn't 100% accurate, but it will filter out much of the explicit material, right? Okay, so that's number one. Number two, on the child's phone, you've got now to lock down the phone and the settings you're putting in there with a passcode. So go to Settings. Once you're in Settings, scroll down to Screen Time. If it isn't already, turn on Screen Time and enter a password. And you can see here I've already set this up. It says change screen time password. I've already established it, right, on this particular phone. Now, that's number one. You're setting up screen time. You've established a passcode. Now, you can't allow your children to install apps or delete them or change the passcode or modify accounts. So you're in screen time. Now, once you get to screen time, go down to Content and Privacy Restrictions right there. If content and privacy restrictions is turned off, make sure it's turned on, right? Then after you've done that, go to iTunes and Apple Store purchases and disallow every one of these, right? So change each one of these. I'm going to leave it on because I needed to perform some other things, and always require a password, right? And so unlike what the screen says, it should be disallow on all those three and always require a password. What that does is now they cannot install, delete, or purchase apps. Meaning, unless you do this, they could delete the YouTube app and then reinstall it and not sign in, right? And so you want to prevent that. The other thing to do is scroll down here, back out and scroll down to a couple of other functionalities here. See where it says passcode and Face ID? Disallow, right? I'm going to leave it on for purposes of my navigation here. Under Accounts, don't allow modifications. What this will do is the modified accounts, you don't want kids to be able to add or remove new YouTube accounts, and so this will prevent some of that as well. And with regards to the passcode, you don't want kids being able to change the passcode, otherwise they'll undo everything. The next step, the final step you got to do to lock this thing down is you've got to block YouTube on your child's phone on every browser. So we're already in content and privacy restrictions, right? The next thing is to go to what's called App Store, Media, Web, and Games. The web is the kicker, right? Scroll down and go to Web, and in here, and it, by the way, it comes unrestricted. You want to limit it, and that will get rid of some of the explicit material. Go to Never Allow, and then just type in YouTube.com. Check it, right? And that anytime they try to log into YouTube in any browser, it won't allow them. My friends, that is how a parent can control, without loopholes, what their child sees on YouTube on their iPhone.